So yeah, that's how the track sounds, and now we can delve into how this has been made. I'm just going to cover this in different areas. We're going to talk about the drums first, and then we're going to move to the bass section, and then we're going to move to the instrumentation and the melodies, so to speak. So that's what we're going to do basically, and we'll start off with the drums. Drums. Okay, so in terms of how the drums sound, I've introduced this orchestral sticky kind of a thing towards the beginning of the tune, which sounds like this. There we go, something like that. And I've had this break in between as well, and if I go inside the break, I've used the Telled Up X plugin and then a little bit of EQing, and got rid of the low end, which I'm not interested about. And then if I go to this channel, yeah, again, just the high mids and the highs, and yeah, and then a little bit of delay. Um, yeah, so that's basically how the intro comes to light, and then from the intro there's a rise, and I've just rendered the main drum sample, and I've added a filter, and then the filter is being opened with with gradual volume automation, and the volume increases as well gradually. And then I've added another filter to get rid of the low end by using this filter, the VPS filter plugin, which gets rid of the low end gradually towards the drop. And then I've introduced a dub delay for the drums, so that the transition is smoother. And what the hell is this? Let's see what this is. Oh yeah, yeah, just a hat with a load of reverb, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the effector is being used to provide a lot of reverb to that, and then I've got rid of the unwanted low end, and that's being played as well, and all these together. And I've added this FX layer as well, um, which is again derived from the main sample. I messed around it, and then I've layered it with the main sample, which sounds like this. Like that. And then we move to the drop. The drop is pretty straightforward. This is actually the main drum sample, and I've layered it with this straight from Monroe sample pack, and I've layered them all together, um, and I've added this extra um, an extra hi-hat as well, just to provide a bit of top end to the snare which is being used, and that's about it actually. And when everything is layered, it sounds perfect, so I didn't have to try too hard to get the drums rolling. So yeah, that's basically how the main drum sample sounds. And if I go into the processing side of drums, um, my main kick and the snare is being diverted to a group, and the kick as well as the snare. As you can see, it's been diverted to this group, and then on the group, I have camel fat. Spicing things up, the distortion module is on, and so is the compression module, and then the BP filter towards controlling the bandwidth. Use the tube exciter. um, there's not much of boosting that required for the drums to be spicy, so yeah, that's basically what I've done. And then of course the Pro C2 is there to glue everything together. So that's basically what I have on the drum bus. On the kick drum, of course, I have a mono compressor and then an EQ as well, just to shape things up around a bit. Um, so that's basically how the processing has taken care of things, and the rest is actually just levels. The rest is actually levels. You just managing the levels appropriately. And on the drum break, which is the MRO, I've used Fairfield EQ just to get rid of the low end, which I'm not interested about, and then of course the filter as an FX, and then of course the Talex as well, just to provide a little bit of um, just to provide a little bit of graceful transition from one phase to the other, and of course crack. So there is a transient shaper, just so that I can shape up the transients to hit more precisely without making a mess out of it. This makes the hi-hats and the snares sound much more sharper as well. So this is actually a free plugin that I found on the internet as an alternative for the transient shaper. So when I purchased FL, so this is actually the signature bundle, not the full bundle, and the transient shaper is not a part of the signature bundle. So I had to find an alternative so that I can use as a transient shaper, and this was probably the best that I found. It's even better than the transient shaper or any other transient shapers for that matter. And there's a paid version of this plugin as well, where you can apply transient processing to bands, different bands, which is crazy. If you want to go into advanced processing, you can purchase that plugin, but this gets the job done. Didn't have to worry. Just the attack on the lower side and a bit of sustain did the trick for me. So yeah, I've used Crack, um, which is a free plugin that you can download. Towards the second phrase, I've used these stops. I layered it with the main drum sample, that the main drum segment that I played, I layered the hi-hats on top of it, and then I've introduced a bit of vinyl crackle as well, this sound. So that's there. And then what is this? Oh yeah, there is a bit of variation in terms of hi-hats from one phrase to the other, so it gives that nice hi-hat movement from moving from this phrase to the other. So that's something that I've done, and then towards the transition from the second phrase of drop one to the third phrase, I'm doing something as of this. So here I'm getting rid of the lows of the drum kit by using the VPS filter. If you go to my drum bass, you remember that I've used this. So what happens is, so on the breakdown it gets rid of the low end, and then on top of it I'm introducing a bit of reverb, hall reverb. As you can see, this is the effector from FL, and I'm using it on the transition so that I can make the transition much more smoother. And in case someone is playing out this song, he doesn't have to necessarily do this by using the mixer. The song already has it, so yeah, that's something that I do quite often. So I've done that towards moving from the third phrase to the fourth phrase as well, and from the fourth phrase to the breakdown. Again, from the second phrase of the second drop to the third phrase of the second drop, and then again towards the ending, just so that I can make the transitions much more smoother. So yeah, that's something that I've done as well. And then I've introduced a low cut filter for the drum break as a variation. So that's been operative as well. And I've done the same for the hi hat as well. Over here, I've used the one knob filter. So if I go to here, so this is what I'm using, the wave one knob filter. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I've layered the crackle from time to time, and then yeah, it's very minimal in terms of the processing and the creative process as well. Just little bits and pieces here and there. What is this? Yeah, just a hi hat, and yeah, there's a ride cymbal, an additional boost for the snare drum on the second phrase, and then again on the fourth phrase I've added it as well. So yeah, so that's basically what I have done. And on the breakdown, I've added this hat sound as well. It keeps on repeating towards the second drop. Yeah, on the second drop, so I'm using a saturated break. Again with a bunch of effects, and then there's an effects which is running, so altogether it sounds like this.